Thank you everyone for joining our 2022 benchmarking program kickoff this year. We're excited to start our 4th year of this voluntary program and looking forward to working with you all to enroll some new participants and assist our current participants with sharing their building benchmarking data. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here to get us started. Can everyone see the slides okay? All right. So to get us started here, we'll have a brief agenda. The mayor will give us a welcome and share a few highlights on the program and benchmarking. We'll review our program report from last year, follow that with a little introduction to benchmarking, what it is, how do you benchmark? And then we have our utility partners from Rochester Public Utilities and Minnesota Energy Resources that will both be giving a little bit of a presentation on the resources and opportunities that they have available. We work with both of them to help our participants collect their utility data and input it into Energy Star. From there, we have a little highlight to give for our energy efficiency grant that we did this past year. And then we'll just wrap it up with some next steps for everyone. So with that, I'll hand it over to Mayor Norton.
Thank you, Lauren. It's really exciting to be here, even if it's virtually. I've been coming to these for the last few years. We actually started this in 2018, and over the last few years have had over 100 businesses or buildings, some businesses, some governmental agencies participate in this benchmarking program. And one of the reasons I am such a supporter of this is there are a couple. One is Rochester set some goals for itself a number of years ago. And one of those was 1.5% annual energy savings. And we achieve this every year. And then we have greenhouse gas emission requirements, reduction requirements that are 30% by 2025. And we're, as I think Lauren has said, somewhat on track to reach this, but 80% reduction by 2050. And we are not on track for that. And so I think the point being that the goals that we've set for the city are really citywide goals, and the city itself cannot control everything in the community. And so some communities have gone so far as to require benchmarking. We have not done that. We've done it voluntarily. And as I said, very pleased that we've gotten over 100. But as you know, there are far more than 100 buildings in the community and then homes that are really going to be important. Could we? Thank you. That we're going to need everyone's participation in order to reach those very aggressive goals that we had. So we know citywide, 75% of our emissions come from energy use. And within the energy sector, 35% of electricity emissions and 28% of natural gas emissions are from the commercial sector. So if we can provide increased efficiency and electrification of those businesses, that'll help us lower the percentages and help us reach our goals. So that's really the goal here. And as I understand it, the buildings that are participating in the benchmarking program have seen a reduction, or their Energy Star score is over 20 points higher than the national average, which is remarkable, but we can't improve what we don't measure. And so the whole idea of this is to get folks to voluntarily come on board. We'll provide through the benchmarking program, not me, but some of these very talented people that we have on our staff and that work with us will help you as building and business owners save money by looking at your emissions over a year and then suggesting ways to lower them. And that's the whole goal. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Spread the word to others. That's how this is going to happen if we continue to do it as a voluntary program. And that's kind of where we are. And I wish you the best of luck and saving money and helping improve our citywide, statewide, and national energy goals. So Lauren, I'm going to hand it back to you, if that's okay. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Norton, for joining us and for sharing a little bit about Rochester's goals and our goals with this program specifically. Moving forward here, we have some program highlights to share from our 2021 program year. So we collected, in 2021, we collected data for the previous year, which would have been 2020. We benchmarked 104 properties, and those equal about 13% of our citywide building energy, which equates to about 6% of our citywide GHG emissions. So just a small fraction there, plenty of room to continue to grow and improve this program. Most of the participants are made up by public buildings, but we continue to grow kind of the private piece of that each year as well. Obviously, in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic altered building use for a lot of those public facilities. And thankfully, with that, people, didn't really just set it and forget it. They managed the facilities well and kind of adjusted for those changes. So overall, there was a decrease on average by 13% in energy use for those public buildings compared to 2019. As the mayor mentioned, the buildings that do benchmark here in Rochester, our median score is 74, which is just about 20 points or so higher than the national average there. So overall, everyone's doing really well. And like we said, even just measuring your buildings and managing them and keeping an eye on it can help you save from there. This is just to highlight some of the new program participants that signed up in last year's program year and just the variety of participants that can be a part of this program. So we had Central Bark, which is a dog daycare. We had Foresight Bank, Berkman, which is an apartment building, One Discovery Square, Intercultural Mutual Assistance Association, and then HGA were all new benchmarking program participants last year. So now just a little bit of an introduction to benchmarking and what it is and how to benchmark. It's pretty simple, but essentially what we're looking at is what are your building characteristics? What's the type of building? Is it a hotel? Is it a retail store? Is it a restaurant? What's the size of that building and the year it was built? And then that helps us decide if it's running efficiently or not. So we enter the building characteristics, we enter the meter information. So we'll set up meters for the electricity, gas, water, or steam, and then input that utility data. What we get from that is the EUI and then the Energy Star score. So basically it looks at the building, what the building is using for energy use. Does that make sense for a building of that characteristic, that size, etc.? Everyday examples of benchmarking just to kind of compare this. We look at nutrition facts on food labels. We look at the fuel economy of our cars. These are all ways of just managing the performance or the addition of things that we're seeing day to day. Benchmarking is just a way to do that for our buildings. Do they measure up to other buildings of a similar size and type, or are they kind of off base? And it just gives us a chance to evaluate that and the building's energy use. Benchmarking your building itself is pretty simple, and we do offer free technical assistance to all of our current and new participants for doing this. So it starts by just creating an Energy Star Portfolio Manager account. This is a free program that you can use. And then with the account, what we'll do is just set up your buildings within your account. Once we have the buildings added, we add in the meters to those buildings, and then it's really simple to go in each month and just input your utility bills. Getting the bill once everything is all set up probably takes a minute or less to input your utility data each month into the program. I would say the hardest part is probably just getting your profile and the building set up. And again, we are there to help with that and collect that data for you. Our goal every year is to have data submitted by June 1st. So that gives us the summer to kind of review the results, make ongoing improvements, touch base with any participants if there's any sort of discrepancies or errors in the data that was shared, and then prepare a report to be shared in the fall of that year. The benefits of benchmarking, as we've kind of mentioned before, you can't manage what you don't measure. So the point of this is to just track energy and water consumption over time through this free online tool to just give you an idea if you're entering it every month, if things look like they're performing correctly or if something looks a little bit off. You can also compare your building performance to your peers. So like I mentioned earlier, your building compared to other buildings of the same size and type? Does it look like it's operating within the same range, or does yours seem to be a little off? There are also incentive offerings from our utility partners. So as I mentioned, we have Rochester Public Utilities and Minnesota Energy Resources joining us today. There are benchmarking specific rebates, as well as a whole host of other rebates for any sort of energy efficiency project that you might want to install from your building based on kind of managing it and seeing where its energy use is at. It also helps, like I said, identify opportunities to increase the efficiency. So maybe you see that yours isn't performing as optimally as it could be. There are different projects that could be installed that ultimately help you save money on your utility bills. And then to gain recognition from the city for your efforts. So we do like to highlight and promote those that participate in this program. And especially if you do take it a step further and install any energy efficiency projects, we love to share those examples with the community to show people the impact it can have. This here is just a little bit of a case study from a local building that participates. So the Minnesota Bio-Business Center. This just kind of shows their one utility use. So you can see electric is the red, the natural gas is the blue line there. In April, they installed LED lighting. So they had, and after that installation, they had about $2,000 in energy savings over that month. And through rebates that were available, they got about $13,000 back in incentive checks for that project. So not only are you saving money on your utility bills once the project is installed, there are a lot of rebates and incentives out there to help finance the projects and or give you money back on their completion for being more energy efficient in your building. $2,000 is a pretty significant chunk of savings in your utility bills every month and just allows our participants to do more for the community that they're a part of. So who can participate? Pretty much anyone who owns a commercial or multifamily building. We've really expanded it past that. So any public building or property owner that wants to participate, we're happy to work with. So businesses, offices, we have nonprofits, hotels, retail spaces, apartments, pretty much anything, you name it. We're willing to help figure out how we can set up an Energy Star profile and start tracking that data, as well as identifying energy saving opportunities. We do have several resources available as well. So we do offer free technical assistance to set up your Energy Star portfolio manager account, as well as to input your utility data. This is for both new and existing participants. We're always happy to touch base with you each year, provide a little refresher on inputting your utility data and or help you collect and input that data. We do have a benchmarking website that is set up. I'll share this PowerPoint at the end with everyone who is registered today so you can access these resources, but everything is on the website as well. There are trainings linked there, really short, simple videos that show you how to set up a profile on Energy Star, as well as how to set up your meters and input your data. And I'm always here. You can use my information there to answer any questions. We're happy to set up times to meet with participants individually if they have questions or just want to go over anything as well. And with that, I'll hand it over to our utility partners for their portion of today's event. And first we have Anna from Rochester Public Utilities.
Thank you, Lauren, and thank you everybody for joining us today. My name is Anna Bashanamovich. I'm an Energy and Environmental Advisor with Rochester Public Utilities. We'll go ahead and kick it off with a short customer and trade ally appreciation video. Go ahead, Lauren.
Are we hearing the sounds?
No, we're not hearing the sound.
Okay.
Lauren.
Usually I feel like something you have to do with your sound.
Lauren, would you like to maybe possibly send a link to the video to our participant? Our video is public and it is available on our RPU TV YouTube channel. So anybody
Sure.
can go view it at any time.
Okay.
Just for time's sake, we can go ahead and move forward if you're okay with that.
Okay, yep. Are you seeing the next PowerPoint slide here then, or I think,
Not yet.
okay. Let's see.
There we are. All righty. So a couple fun facts about RPU. We are the largest municipal utility in the state of Minnesota, and we service the territory of just 60 square miles, which are the city limits of Rochester. We serve over 57,000 electric and 41,000 water customers. We operate under the direction of Rochester City Council and a 5-member mayor-appointed utility board. We do have a goal to provide 100% renewable energy by 2030. Our energy and marketing team is here to help you support your businesses any way we can. Our team consists of 4 commercial account representatives. We have Josh Mason, Mohammed Paul, Dave Anderson, myself, and a residential program coordinator, Stephanie Humphrey. Again, we can assist in many different ways. For example, our Conserve and Save program is driven by 2021 Energy Conservation and Optimization Act, or ECO Act, which is previously known as Conservation Improvement Program, or SIP program. It basically helps Minnesota households and businesses use electricity and natural gas more efficiently. And just in 2021, our program has helped save customers over 18 million kilowatt hours, which can power approximately 1,579 homes for a whole year. The total rebates paid out were $2.1 million in electric rebates just in that 1 year. As far as the water's conservation goes, we did accomplish a savings of 4.5 million gallons of water, which is approximately 7 Olympic pools. And we paid out over $23,000 in water rebates in 2021. Energy efficiency efforts have great impact on our community as a whole. Even though our main focus is on energy conservation and reducing carbon dioxide emissions, we also lessen the need for any new utility infrastructure. Over the years, our program helped save over 80 megawatts in electricity, which equates to approximately 2 Westside Energy Station power plants. We also have many other tools which can help you operate more efficiently, such as energy audits, analyzing your usage data, managing your demand, energy load profiles, and the rebate incentive estimates. Speaking of rebates, our commercial rebate program consists of various measures such as lighting, cooling, motors and VFDs, heat pumps, gas flow management, and others. The custom rebates are available for measures that don't fit any prescriptive rebates, and we pay out 4.5 cents per kWh saved for installation of more efficient equipment. Our residential program is also available to commercial customers, and it consists of Energy Star certified appliances and lighting, in addition to heat pumps, central air conditioners. We also have recyclable rebates as well for freezer, refrigerators, dehumidifiers, and other. Our water rebates are basically Energy Star clothes washers, also WaterSense toilets. For commercial customers, we do have available rebates for flush meter valves, toilets, and also irrigation, water-based WaterSense labeled irrigation systems. For a full list of available rebates, you can certainly visit our website. We have PDF available, interactive, and print forms. The interactive forms will help you estimate any kind of a savings for your potential projects. We can certainly assist you with that as well. In addition to rebates, our website provides information on energy topics, outages, utility news, new service application, and much, much more. Our customers interested in distributed generation can follow our link for solar energy to visit our NOVA portal. For your need for benchmarking, if you visit RPU and set up an RPU account, which is a self-service customer portal, you can actually pull your usage data for each meter that you are being billed for. it will extract into a really easy Excel spreadsheet, which will give you billing dates, your usage in kWh, and also your demand if you're a demand customer in kW. And also with the demand meter customers, we're actually able to download your energy load profile from your meter. This will give us a more specific insight on your daily operation and energy use based on your consumption and demand. By recognizing the regularities in your daily usage, like those demand spikes, we can identify any equipment which should be monitored, maybe controlled, or potentially replaced with more efficient models. In closing, know that you have representation with RPU. We're just a phone call away, so don't shy away. Just give us a call if you have any questions. Please do take advantage of our rebate programs, and remember to check with us if your project qualifies for a custom rebate, if measure is not listed as prescriptive. There are still many ways that you can save energy with no cost or low cost investments. We can help you do a energy walkthrough to identify those no cost and low cost investments. We can also estimate the savings and do an ROI for any upgrading to new, more efficient equipment. For demand customers, sometimes the key is to manage your demand peaks. By lowering your demand, you will lower your energy costs, basically lowering your operating costs. And of course, the main reason we're here today, benchmarking. You've heard it time and time over, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. This is very true for your energy use as well. Benchmarking can help you set achievable energy goals and bring down operating costs, and overall, you can help the environment as well. And that's all I have for you guys today. Lauren?
Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. We have Jennifer next from Minnesota Energy Resources, and then we will have some time at the end today if folks have any questions for any of our presenters or speakers. And we are always happy to help connect you to them through the benchmarking program as well. Jennifer?
Well, hi, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Jen Kimmon. I'm with Minnesota Energy Resources. Thank you for having me this afternoon and joining us. I would definitely say my best advice to you as you go into benchmarking is that, energy programs are ever changing and there are no silly questions. So if you have questions after this call, for sure, reach out, whether it's equipment or understanding usage, please feel free to reach out. So first, you're seeing Minnesota Energy Resources and our territory. While we delivered to 179 communities, it's definitely fair to say that Rochester has been the fastest growing city in our territory. The tremendous growth has been exciting to see, and while we all have a hand in the development, it really has been rewarding to watch Rochester transform. Next slide, please. So Energy Star certification is really the capstone to energy efficiency improvements that you're making. When you benchmark your energy into Portfolio Manager that you've been seeing, if your score is 75 or higher, you're eligible to be certified. And a score of 75 means that your building performs better than at least 75% of the buildings nationwide. And if your building is already efficient, you can jump straight into Energy Star certification without making any changes or upgrades. You would apply for that directly through EPA. Minnesota Energy has a rebate of $750, which covers about half of the typical certification fees. And then the benchmarking rebate bonus was specifically designed to help support our customers in communities like Rochester. Once you benchmark your building, you're eligible for an additional 25% rebate on top of the already generous commercial rebate that you're getting. You do not need to be certified to qualify for the benchmarking bonus, but we encourage you to do both. Next slide. So we have several prescriptive rebates that we continue to offer, and these types of rebates are, most of them are cashback flat rebates. For example, if you install a high efficiency food service equipment in your cafeteria, say, a combi oven would get a $1,000 rebate or a fryer $700 rebate. Whereas a custom rebate is more of a tailored project that does not fall into one of these prescriptive equipment rebates. But it's still saving natural gas. We would review that project and make sure it's cost effective and that the payback is at least 1 year. The rebate is $10 per decatherm saved. put that kind of in perspective, we recently approved a custom project for just over $5,000 at a school that installed demand control ventilation. That will allow them to save 500 decatherms in heating costs. So not only are they saving on their monthly natural gas bill, but they're also received quite a big rebate when they put in that ventilation system. A DCV or demand control ventilation works well in buildings that are not always occupied, such as churches or schools, convention centers. And then we have a few unique energy programs to help work towards those savings. We sponsor a building operating certification or BOC training. That program is run by MIA, or Midwest Energy Efficiency Alliance. The training is for commercial building facility managers and their staff. The training covers building operation and maintenance and offers an in-depth look at the best ways to manage that facility and maybe the latest tips or technologies. There is an online class beginning May 10th of this year and another in August. Both of those are virtual now. The class is it's like $1,600. March rebate is somewhere around $650. And then I know RPU offers an additional rebate on a tiered level. So definitely check with them if somebody on the call wants to take part in that and learning about their building. Our multifamily program addresses specific needs of multifamily building owners. As you saw at the beginning of Lauren's slideshow, there are several multifamily buildings that are benchmarking. Our program addresses specific needs and serves multifamily types with 5 or more units, including low-income housing, 55 and over senior housing, assisted living, nursing homes, on-camping college housing, townhomes, condominiums, apartments. So as you can see, there's just many programs that we have at hand. So I understand there are a lot of questions on how our programs work. So if you have any questions, next slide, you can reach out to me at directly at my phone number or email if that's easier. If you'd like to take a look at our programs, feel free to visit us at cashrebatesnow.com. And I think that's it for me, unless there's any immediate questions.
Thank you, Jen. I will just pause here if there are any questions for any of our utility partners. And if not, feel free to use the chat as well, and we can follow up there too. So this year we had the opportunity to offer an energy efficiency grant as a part of the benchmarking program. We don't always get to do that. This was the first year we had some extra funding available. And so we wanted to focus on energy efficiency projects and gear it towards those that are benchmarking or who would commit to sign up as a benchmarking participant so that we can measure their data and see the effects of the energy efficiency projects installed. We had $30,000 available and all 30,000 of that was awarded. We had 6 applicants. 3 of the 6 were existing benchmarking participants. Out of those 6 applications, $150,000 total was what requested. Obviously, that was a lot more than the $30,000 we were able to give out. We did partner with RPU to assist those applicants or people that were interested in submitting an application to kind of audit their buildings and identify energy efficiency projects they could apply for. As well as on the back end here, we're continuing to keep in close communication with RPU and those applicants as they work on and wrap up those projects for any rebates that can be issued to give them money back for the work that's been done. The recipients and the proposed energy efficiency projects are listed here. As you can see, I mentioned some of them earlier are benchmarking participants. Almost all of the projects that were included on the applications had to do with LED lighting. Other simpler things included programmable thermostats, insulation, and then some solar shades were included in there as well. So just an example of some of the other benefits that can arise if you are a benchmarking participant. Obviously, there was some priority consideration given to those who were already participating in our program. So that wraps up our presentation for today. So just some next steps as we're thinking about the program for those of you that are new participants or existing ones. Sign up your building to participate if you're interested in taking that next step. If you have questions or want to schedule a time to chat with us, please let us know and we can follow up. We do have technical assistance sessions that you can sign up for, and we are flexible on that to kind of meet people where they're at. Please spread the news and share with your networks about this program. It is voluntary right now, but the more people we have participating, the more data we have to look towards and for people to benchmark their properties against. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but you can learn more at our webpage. We have a lot of information and resources there, contacts for our utility partners, presentations from past years, and our reports that we post there each year. So that's all we have for today. Thank you everyone for joining us and participating. I will stop sharing my screen. If we do have any questions from any participants, we're happy to help answer those about the program or anything else.
Hi, Lauren. This is Kim Jensen with HGA. How are you today? Thank you so much for doing this program and sharing all this information. We are, as you pointed out, one of the participants, and I think for us as leasees in a building, it's difficult for us to make changes to a building that we don't own, right? So as architects and engineers, we're really well versed in a lot of these strategies, and we're trying to bring them forward to our clients. But are there some specific things that you at this point could recommend for folks that are leasees of buildings and not building owners?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like, I think Anna kind of mentioned this, demand management, just how you're using energy within the space that you have is a place to start, just how you can be the most energy efficient. We're also happy, as it's helpful, to kind of connect with landlords or building owners to see, just kind of open up that communication and see what the realm of possibility is if folks are interested in taking on a particular energy efficiency project. I think a lot of the times the concern for most people is the financial aspect of it and what's required upfront to install any projects, but there are tons of financing opportunities out there, and depending on the project, payback periods can be pretty quick, and there are plenty of rebates available that can kind of help with that process as well, and just kind of take away from some of the overall financial aspect. So I think really it's just, like I said, connecting with utility partners. We are also happy to connect with you, take a look at your space, see what options are available for improving the energy efficiency. And if it does look like it needs to be taken a step further, we're happy to facilitate conversations there as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess too, is there anything either of your utility partners would like to add to that?
This is pretty much covered it all. Oh, go ahead, Katie.
Oh, I was gonna just jump in and just kind of, Lauren, I think you're very right. And this is Katie O'Rourke. I work on behalf of Merck, Minnesota Energy Resources. I was just gonna jump in, especially, it's a challenge, right? When you're a tenant or a leasee and not the owner, and you don't own the equipment. What we've partnered with in the past is on the kind of more the operational efficiency side of the things, like retro commissioning. Obviously, it still takes some, I'll say, engagement with the owner, because you are, a lot of times they own the heating systems and but we've seen a lot of kind of coordinated efforts from more looking at operational efficiencies from that respect. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, you're absolutely right. I just wanted to add that we actually do rebate on any kind of efficiency projects for people that are leasing space. So you don't have to own the space as long as the utilities are in your name. You are eligible for rebate programs. And the payback, it's important. If your lease is for 10 years and your payback is 2 or 5 years, maybe the savings is there and you can justify moving forward with the energy efficiency project. But also we can do a walkthrough. Let's look at your behavioral things that you can change, those low cost and no cost adjustments that you can make that will really make an impact, especially, if you have a long-term lease for the space.
Thanks, Kim, for that question. That's a good one and something we do try to bring up when we are doing our outreach because, we understand not everyone is the actual building or space owner. So it's important to think about that as well. Any other questions from participants today? Well, I thank you all again for joining us and kicking off the 4th year of our program. We will follow up to share the recording and kind of some next steps or materials, as well as just our website where you can find all of the information about the program and signing up for technical assistance if you'd like to take that next step and get your Energy Star Portfolio Manager account started. If you are a current participant, we're happy to help collect those utility bills and get those inputted into your existing profile as well. So thank you everyone for joining us and have a great rest of your day.